Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the finale of Series 1 of course, Paranormal Tuesdays. We have a very exciting episode for you today. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a lot to give you information on, and honestly, there's so much to get through today. Are you going to say hello? And I'm really excited for this episode. You'll see him in a minute. So of course, we are joined by Mr. Co-host, Mr. Robert Dyer.
Hey, mate.
You all right?
Rocking.
Good. You're going to go in there, Eleanor. And, of course, we are joined by Mr. Carl Blissett.
Hi, buddy. You all right? Hi, everyone.
I am all good. So, guys, let us know that you're on this evening. Let us know that you're watching. Like I said, this is the end of Series 1 of Paranormal Tuesdays. We've done 14 episodes today, which is unbelievable. Go in there to Mummy.
What are you doing?
I'm talking to people on Facebook and YouTube. So we have Susan with us. Good evening, Susan. Hope you're right. Kathy, welcome back. We haven't seen you for a while. Good evening. Hope we're all doing okay. Like I say, let us know that you are there because it doesn't technically tell us who's watching unless you comment. We have a lot to go through. We had a meeting yesterday, which we're going to tell you all about. And don't forget, guys, we are sponsored by Paranormal Technology, Paratech, who are, of course, based in Northern Ireland. You're not just buying equipment, you're buying an experience. So make sure you check them out. As I mentioned, Mark will definitely look after you, and if you show him that you've liked the page, he will give you 10% off your first order. So, what more can you ask for? So, guys, are we ready for the season finale? 14 weeks. Which, obviously, I know you didn't do everyone. Of course, we had Jay on with us at the beginning of 14 weeks ago, and obviously now with us. And, of course, we are celebrating 1 year of Paranormal Living.
Yay!
Year old. I know. Obviously, Carl has watched physically every single episode right from the start. So we're going to we want to know, guys, if you watching, what's been your sort of favourite moment, favourite happening with Paranormal Living? Maybe an interview, maybe something what happened on an investigation. Let us know because we'd definitely love to know. And we're obviously going to talk about ours. There's a lot to cover tonight, So first of all, we did, like I said, we had a meeting yesterday. We're talking about obviously new ideas and sort of refresh Paranormal Living. So which is one of the reasons we are having a 2-week break. So there will be some things still posted on Facebook, some like question of the week we're going to do. But of course, 2-week break, sort of rebrand, weren't it? We come up with some new ideas always. So from July, from next month, everything will be sort of changing a bit. Not too different, of course, but everything will be changing. So one of the things we did mention was with the lives, because obviously we've been live every single week at various unbelievable locations. We are dropping the lives to 1 a month now, and I will explain why. Due to, obviously, we've got some other plans and other ideas we're going to put forward as well, which is going to be awesome. So 1 live a month, and we said when the third Sunday of every month at 9 p.m. So every third Sunday, we will be live from 9 p.m. from different locations for our lives, which are going to look a bit different. We're going to, obviously, we've got new intro and new things planned as well. And, of course, one of the reasons that is because we're going to start now focusing on filming the first series of Paranormal Living TV from different locations. We are going to go back to the ancient Brahmin, which we did mention, didn't we? With 30 East Drive is sort of on the list. We've got a ridiculous list this long of plans and places we are going to visit in Series 1. So, Bob, I will start with you. So it's been a year of Paranormal Living. Obviously, you joined us. What's it been now? 3 months, 4 months, I think it is.
Did. Yeah.
What has been your overall favourite moment of Paranormal Living?
Oh, being part of the team, I would say. Being part of the team, actually going on investigations, learning the equipment, and basically going out there and just enjoying it. Really, I find it interesting anyway. But to have the chance to go out there and do the investigation. Same with Carl. I think that Carl feels the same way about that. When you do go on an investigation, you don't know what you're going to get, do you, Carly boy? It's it's amazing. It was really amazing because you don't know what you're going to come across. You don't know what's there around the corner. You ain't got a clue. But when you do discover something, it's good. And I seem to I don't know, I take photos, I seem to get things, which is absolutely amazing. Which I wouldn't have been getting that if I wouldn't be doing this Paranormal Living thing. I think it's brilliant. absolutely fantastic. I've enjoyed the road, and I'm waiting for the next one.
Yes, it's all very exciting. What about you, Carl? What's been like your highlight either before joining the team or what we've done recently? So obviously, like you say, guys, as well, get your comments in, your highlights of the last 12 months. But Carl, what's sort of been your favourite parts of Paranormal Living?
For me, echoing really what Bob said, I basically watched you from the start, and being part of the team and learning the equipment, using the equipment, going on investigations, and bringing something new to the general public. Really, our followers. I love every minute of it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's fine. That's right. I think they're the same way. It's absolutely fantastic.
They're the nice one. I think my highlight of this last 12 months, of course, was the interviews as well. Obviously getting to speak to Andrea Perrin, obviously who the first Conjuring is based on her family, and the real story of what happened with the Perrin family. I thought that was pretty awesome to be able to get her on, and that was like the big star. And of course, later on, not that long ago, we had Richard Felix.
Oh, what a guy he is!
I know, it was absolutely lovely, and I think just by doing this, it sort of opened doors into meeting these new people and obviously these well-known people. That is definitely one of my highlights, and of course, the live investigations, because we'd never really done much of that. Obviously, when Jay was in the team, we used to go to the flat, and obviously we'd had done a few things there. But we never really sort of ventured out as much, did we, really, apart from the ramming? So I think, these investigations, because I didn't know how I'd be on some of these, because I always thought I'm going to be a screamer. I'm going to be the one who's running around screaming, like when you see in a cartoon and the head's all the way back and your body's running. That I thought it would be, and I've surprised myself, actually. So it's been definitely an eye-opening experience. And like you say, even though the team slightly changed, what an amazing 12 months we've had. And like you said, 12 months, we've got so much planned. And, I'm really, really excited for the next 12 months, definitely. I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be exciting. And like you said, we had our meeting yesterday of the plans we've got. And honestly, everyone, you're going to absolutely love it. So, like I said, we're going to have a 2-week break from obviously Paranormal Living. We're still going to do the question of the week. So we'll put some questions out and a few other bits, obviously, on social media. But just for the next 2 weeks, there won't be any lives, just as we sort of rejudging everything, and of course getting ready for filming. And the next lives we do have planned back in from the 3rd week of July, which is when we'll be back for our first live. Brendan Ripley, good evening, buddy. Hope you're all right. Brendan is a fellow Elvis. Hope you're all right, buddy. Hope you're doing okay. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot to sort of go through this evening. But one of the things I want to talk about now is last Thursday we went?
Yeah.
When we went out for the live, what didn't really go to plan. So, as many of you know, last Thursday we were supposed to originally go to. Where did we supposed to go?
It was a Jubilee, wasn't it?
The tower, yes. So obviously the original plan was to do somewhere else, or weren't we? Honestly, it's left my mind. That's because it didn't go to plan. I got rid of it. So obviously last week's live, and then we got attacked by midges, ambushed by midges, should I say, in that graveyard. Yeah. But that was it. The pub, what had just been knocked down, weren't it? That was it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was where we went first. So some of the photos are currently uploading, but one of the photos I did want to share with everybody was what Bob took, which was, so this pub, it had been knocked down the day before. That was where we was going to go live. And we'd had experiences while we'd been there. You could feel the energy. I was getting like palpitations. We're all picking up on stuff, and it was pretty immense, to be honest. But unfortunately, people turned up and then they started clearing stuff away, so it wasn't really viable.
That's just being coward and noise, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the most. This was just before the noise, wasn't it? And then you end up taking the picture. So I'm not sure. I should have put a circle around where I'm looking, but obviously on this picture you can see what looks like a lady in the middle. As if she's got a hand on the fence, and then there is someone stood next to her, which you said like a gentleman, didn't you, Bob?
And it looks like there's a maid there as well.
So, guys, I want to know your thoughts on this picture. If you see anything, or if you don't see anything, like you say, it's all open to interpretation as well.
But this, the arm, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. It literally looks like her arm sort of resting on the fence, which is pretty awesome.
It's funny because we heard that noise and then we got reaction. So I turned around and said, I'm going to take a photo. Anybody wants to show themselves, be in the picture. And there you go. It's quite weird. It needs to be blown up a bit. You'll be able to see it a bit better. Like.
Yeah, I did. I tried to blow it up as on my phone, but I didn't really.
But you can see someone with a hat. You can see a bloke putting his arm on the fence, and you can also see he's wearing like a, I don't know, a little jumper, short sleeves or whatever. Looks like somebody's got a hat on, but to me, he looks like a soldier because of the hat on the top.
Yeah,
it's quite weird.
Like I said, this pub must have been late 1800s, wasn't it? I think we seem to think.
Oh, Jared, off you've missed out the there's a maid on that side.
Oh, I it. Do apologise.
That's all right. Don't worry about
it. Good evening, Anita. Hope you're okay. Welcome, Mark. Of course, from Paranormal Technology. A big shout out to Mark. Hope you're doing all right, buddy. Hope everything's well. So yeah, I think it's cool, man. It's a cool picture because originally I didn't see it until I looked at it afterwards, and that's why. If
anybody's got any opinions, just send us a message or what.
Carl, I'm just picture so we can see your face, buddy, because you're the only one we can't see. So, what about your thoughts on the picture?
Yeah, when we seen it, I thought, what a great capture it was. I mean, we heard the noise, and straight after we heard the noise, Bob clicked the thing to get a photo, and that appeared. It was really interesting.
We went and investigated it, didn't we? We went over there because we heard that noise. What sort of noise it was, I don't know, but it was in that area. And then I just said, "You can show yourself with, when I take the picture." And there you go. It was quite nice.
I just said that about being a class photo. Yeah, I think it's awesome. You got quite a few. We will be uploading them onto Facebook soon. But yeah, I think it's an awesome picture. It definitely looks like two people stood there. You can't argue that.
It looks like one of them war soldiers, with a big cap on.
Yeah,
that's what I can see. And the other one could be another soldier. I don't know, with one of them white caps on. I don't know. Weird.
Well, Kathy just put here, looks like a lady with her sweetheart, a soldier young. I think that looks more like a lady, so I agree with you there, Kathy.
The first one looks like a soldier. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Obviously, it is
looks like a woman.
Yeah, well, it is all obviously farmland around there, and obviously that pub's been there for a long time. And there's a few.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good capture that. But we do capture some stuff, don't we?
Absolutely.
Certainly. Yep.
We've had a pretty amazing past month, haven't we? Month or two. Especially for those as well who haven't seen it, we did upload the footage for Ridgely. It's about 13 minutes. We obviously just showed you the best bits because we were in there for quite some time in there. If you haven't seen the footage, make sure you check it out because it was absolutely awesome. And when I was editing it and I put my headphones on, honestly, it freaking me out because I said to you about Ridgely, when we was in the corridor at the end when the cat ball's going off and we set the music box up and stuff, and someone touched me. It really freaked me out watching that back, and honestly, I didn't think it really affected me, but watching it back, it was creeping me out watching it back when I was editing it together.
Has anybody seen the picture yet, Jared?
Which one?
The one I took in that room.
Yeah, they're on Facebook. Yeah, I put them on Facebook.
Right.
Well, we'll reshare them anyway. I'll reshare the album. Yeah, Mark's just put there. Definitely looks like two people standing against the fence. Like we said though, Bob's like the photographer of the group. The camera's out as soon as we step out of the car. He's just snap. And like you say, you've got some amazing photos so far.
Well, you never know what you're going to catch, do you?
Well, this is it. Because on some of these places, literally, you think nothing's happening, and then you look back at your photos, and then all of a sudden there's like like that. When we was outside that demolished pub, and then all of a sudden you pick that up. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. And
we was really just going to see what it was all about, weren't we?
Yeah.
Just got a camera out. We heard that noise and took a picture. Wow.
Well, that was the thing, because I spoke to my mum just before we left, and because the original plan was to go to that Jubilee Tower in Blackburn, and then we couldn't get up there because there were no roads, and obviously it didn't really go to plan. But she mentioned that place, and it was supposed to obviously be one of the most haunted buildings around the area. So I thought it was definitely worth a look. And I think maybe this is the thing, once you clear it, well, is the energy going to disappear? But because obviously it was all there, the rubble, especially the timber, the wood, it's that original wood from when it was first opened. Obviously, the amount of energy in the walls and in the wood, and when that goes, is the energy going to sort of go?
How many years was that pub up there?
I've got it must be 18.
A long time, yeah.
Early 1900s.
Oh, well, there you go. They could have visited the pub.
Well, this situation, it could have been a hotel at one point, where people stayed, passing through, like a lodging or something.
That's crazy.
It's a shame it was knocked down, because I think if it was fully stood, I think we could have really got some cool stuff there, because like we said, when we walked on there, and the energy in that just on the grounds was pretty immense.
Oh, it's amazing.
Like, you could feel it, definitely. So yeah, I'm excited for what we have next. So guys, for those just joined, good evening. Welcome to the final episode of Series 1 of Paranormal Living, Paranormal Tuesday, should I say. So we are in a 2-week break as we rejudge everything. We have a few things we're going to change for the show. And we also want your comments this evening. Is there anything you'd like us to talk about? Because we mentioned, didn't we, about maybe different weeks do different topics. Would you any guests you would like to see, what we could try to get them on? What would you like to see with Paranormal Tuesday, and of course with Paranormal Living as a whole, as we are sort of judging everything. I did mention as well, so the third from next month, the third Sunday of every month, we will be live without fail, which is now going to be one a month, because we are going to start filming for the proper series and proper footage, because we said, didn't we, the lives are all right, we've had some pretty cool stuff, but I'd like everyone to get the full picture, where we are, because when we've had them experiences, obviously we're all stood behind the camera, and then obviously when you get them people who are skeptical, oh, it was just you, I want to show people where we are stood, we're not moving, we are not physically making this stuff go off. Like, even I'm not sure if Mark saw the last live we did the week before, the Lancaster cemetery, when the music box started making the weirdest noises it's ever made in its life, and it's fine now. What I mean? But I want people to see the full spectrum of everything we're doing, and like we mentioned about locked off cameras, setting more trigger objects up and things in different rooms. So we definitely have a lot planned and a lot of exciting things, within the next 12 months. I'd say I'm really excited. Like we've said, and we've been saying for the past 3 days. We had a hell of a brainstorm.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, originally was well interested anyway, wasn't it? I mean, I think that hits me, because we didn't know what to expect when we walked in there. And when we got in there, it felt eerie then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And when we're moving about, it's like someone was watching us. It was quite crazy. Yeah. But I found it more, like I say, it was more worse downstairs than it was up.
Yeah.
But we've got some great stuff downstairs. People look at that footage, you see what we're on about. It was very daunting. It got a bit scary at times, because we felt the energy was sort of like coming towards us, you know what I mean? It was quite crazy.
Definitely.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Like I said,
yeah, it was an awesome place.
Like I said, I'd like to go back in there and film it properly, because we aim to go live there. And obviously we can take all the cameras and get everything set up.
We definitely put a camera on that room,
well done, guys. Yeah, Bob, sometimes when you are not tuned in, when we are not tuned in, we get spirit trying to get our attention. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. So we have a question from Mark for us all as we celebrate this season finale. Mark's put, how about everyone's most amazing paranormal experiences? Carl, I will let you start, buddy, on this one. What is your most amazing paranormal experience?
Most amazing one I've ever had was actually seeing an apparition when I was a little bit younger. And that would have been in a house I used to live in with my family. Apparition came through a wall, and there was only me in the room. Came through the wall, past the sofa, and out on the other side through another wall. And when we did a history on the building, there used to be 2 doors, and it was the exact same place where the spirit came through the wall.
That's
so for
awesome.
me, I think that got me interested in everything.
Yeah. Go on, Bob. What about you?
Well, mine goes down to footage, because it just seems like when I was like in Malta and look, I weren't doing paranormal or nothing like that, but I seem to, when I take photos, I seem to catch things, and to me that's evidence that needs investigating, and we need to find out what's actually out there that we really don't know about. And then every time I'm behind the camera, I seem to catch things which I found. Perhaps it's a message, perhaps it's telling me to keep pushing on, get on, and let's find out what's really going on there. But my main thing is would love to actually see an apparition like people do when they go, on YouTube. A lot of them have seen them walking past and stuff. I'd love to catch something like that on film. But apart from that, it's mainly footage evidence. That's really where I really stand from. And that's my most experience, because I found that was giving me more evidence than anything. And that's what put me onto the paranormal side of it.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think mine. Oh, that's a hard question for. Obviously, I've had a few different things happen. I think I'm going to choose 2. I've probably got 10, but we've got a cat post over here. The scratching post, and I remember I had a reading. This on this. It was Easter Sunday. We had this reading, and Gordon Walsh. Shout out to Gordon Walsh, and he come to the house and did a reading for us all. And I just remember saying to him, like, I'm in a bit of a doubting stage, because this is just before I went to the spiritualist church for the awareness class. So I was just, I sort of stuck, I sort of lost, I guess you could say. And he's like, what more proof do you need? This is exact words to me. And I'm like, you got a point there. And then we went to watch a show, me and my mum, Pete and Lynn's. And then when we got back, the cat post was in the middle of the front room and nobody had moved it. And I was the last one out of the house.
Crazy.
I literally walked in and went, why's the cat post? And then I rang my mum, like, did you miss the cat post? Like, no one had moved it. And it stood there. It had moved like 5 foot across the front room.
Wow.
It's still in the same place it always has been. And I'm like, that's probably one of them. Definitely. And I'd say probably Ridgely was freaky when I got physically touched. So I would say that was amazing.
That was quite scary for you. I mean, I was the same. I was fearing for you, because I thought he's got touched, he could get possessed or something like that. And when you said get out of there, let's get out of there, we went. But you was really calm from that day onwards.
It was funny because I'm like, right, I've had enough now. Gone. No, I'm not doing it anymore. I've had enough. Whatever it was. But I think cat post and all these, there's literally so many. I'm just going to go with cat post for now. But yeah, I think that's one of my. No, actually, yeah, I'm going to go with Ridgely being touched, because I've felt spirit around me. Like sometimes you sort of feel like your arms, that was physically someone prodding me. Like I said, I don't know if they've got a pen and prodding me in chest, but yeah, that's probably one of my second ones. That was one of my scariest as well, because I'm like, I've had enough now.
It could have been that thing on that picture, I reckon, in that room.
Yeah, something not right in there, I'm telling you. It's definitely eerie. Chantel, South Africa, good evening. Hope you're doing okay. Welcome to the show. Susan has put, I loved it when Denise comes in. Yeah, Denise obviously will be joining us very, very soon. I would like to see the reduced clips rather than staring at balls. Yeah. Staring at the balls. But love what you're doing. This is what I mean. This is one of the things we've been talking about, weren't we? As like I say, we had the brainstorming yesterday. Is new ideas. How can we improve? How can we make it better? Which is one of the reasons, like I said, we want to go into filming more and releasing full hour episodes where you can cut it all down and it's not just us walking around. Because that's one thing I always said. What we can't be helped. But we all agreed, didn't we? It's like, when you're just walking around and then I end up nearly falling over. I'm tipping things over. Not great. But like you say, all your feedback, everything is much appreciated because it helps us.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the cat balls, but you don't want to keep looking at cat balls. I agree with what I say. You know what I mean? You need to be moving about or doing something. People get bored and then they want to, you know, oh, well, I'll buy some house, you know what I mean? But like I say, yeah, we could do more moving about and more activity part side of it. You know, I think that go a long way. And more lightning.
Yeah, we said that.
Yes, we did.
You know, that is one thing we are invested in. Is new lights, because it's so dark in some of these places. Chantel has put, I'd love to see a full apparition. It's one of them nights.
Apparition.
It happens sometimes on these lives. I'd still boo my pants though. I'd probably only see it briefly because I'd be moving the fast the other way. Honestly, I think I'd be the same. But it's weird, isn't it? Because like going back to Ridge Lee, when we were studying that corridor got darker.
It did, didn't it?
The lighting changed, but it just got darker and darker and darker. And then Carl mentioned about something being conjured up. There's some negative stuff going on. And
exactly.
Then,
there was definitely negative force there.
Definitely.
Susan,
crazy.
Yeah. But sorry, back to Chantel's question before. Yeah, I think the most apparition I've seen is a shadow. I remember a shadow going past the bed. Actually, thinking about it now, I remember coming home from church one night. It was when me and Carl were still going obviously to the awareness class, and I remember just getting home. Obviously, it was getting on a bit. It's quite late because obviously I dropped him off. And I remember getting to the top of the stairs and saw the outline of someone stood outside one of the doors. I think that's the closest I've seen. It didn't even twig. I just looked and went, it actually looks like there's someone stood there. But, you know, because it happens so fast sometimes, you just... But, yeah, I was quite relaxed. This is what I mean. I've surprised myself. I've been, apart from, like you say, Ridge, that's a great idea. Although I keeping the falling over. Well, that is now left to Bob. That is, I
really broke my bleeding ankle, didn't I?
Honestly, so guys, we actually haven't spoke about this. So when we going back to the Ridgely, as we're walking around the grounds, obviously there was some fencing and you know the big concrete slabs. And obviously I'm in front, Carl's behind me, and then Bob's at the back. But Bob's filming and not looking where he's going. And all of a sudden, he said this doof, and I went, "This Carl fell over." I turned around and Bob's laid there like a sloth. He was lifting his head up like, ow. And I'm like, are you okay? Are you all right? He's like, yeah. And then I laughed because I made sure you're all right first. And we do have that.
I thought I broke my ankle.
Honestly, you'll never live that down ever. Marcus put, have a new motion detector with sound heading to you guys next week. Oh, mate, that is awesome. That'll be absolutely brilliant. Oh, mate, I can't wait for that. It's exciting. So, and like you say, because that's one of the things, like you say, and a lot of things we've been talking about is, you know, reducing the lives because we want to give you a better experience. You know, that's what it is about to us as well, and it's about giving you viewers, you know, our friends, you know, and people who watch the show, that experience is exactly what we're going through, and I think, you know, that's what we're aiming to do, and you know, we're putting these ideas to plan now, and like you say, when we come, hopefully in the not too near future as well, we'll all be in the same room together, and we'll be able to do Paranormal Tuesday actually in a room together.
That's our plan.
Yes, that is. Hopefully, it's going to be sorted for when we return in 2 weeks. As soon as you come on, I've gone really cold. That was Susan. There's something affecting my speech again, so it wouldn't surprise me if someone's pottering around. We always said this, didn't we? Because we're all in the same mindset, and even like when we've had people on here in the past who aren't necessarily mediums or, you know, link in with spirit, but they have these unbelievable experiences and get these names, and then people put it in the chat, and you know, then things go off, and you know, we've had some amazing experience, and I think we're all quite open like that, aren't we? And all sort of in that same mindset, because even Bob picking up on names, and obviously me and Carl have been quite sensitive to spirit anyway, and especially when Denise is on board as well, because it gives that confirmation, you know, and that's what I'm really excited for. Mark, I've seen quite a few apparitions myself, and it takes me back every time. Wow. Like I say, I think, like you say, you've seen a few apparitions, haven't you, Carl? You've had a few experiences physically seeing spirit. What are your thoughts on it all?
I think it's amazing because it's something that we don't really understand, that there's another place beyond what we know. And for me, it's brilliant. As soon as you see one, you're thinking, well, there's nobody there, but you're seeing this apparition go past.
How did you feel about it anyway?
Oh, I loved it. I think it was amazing just to see that actual apparition, and no, there's nothing else there. Yeah, it just opened my eyes to it all, to the paranormal.
Yeah, now.
Yeah.
But it make you feel eerie or nothing like that, then?
No, I thought it would, but at first I thought it'd be. When I first seen it, I thought, well, I'm not frightened, so it's something I want to do. So then I've seen quite a few apparitions, felt loads of things, and just carried on from there.
And messages out yourself, haven't you, when we were at church together, and when we've done like the awareness class and stuff. I think sometimes just a pre-thought of it, because we're having this conversation today because I want to improve on my mediumship. Because obviously we've had no classes, we haven't done much, so it's come to sort of a stop. But now the spiritual church is reopened. But the pre-thought of me going to an open circle is like, I've got to stand up in front of people and give them a message. It terrifies me. But then I'm like, and then I'll do it, and I'm like, actually, it wasn't that bad. Which is the same thing, isn't it? It's just fear in your rational mind as well. Like when you see a full body apparition, before you see it and think about that, if I saw someone stood at the end of my bed, I would absolutely mid pants. But probably when it happens, you're actually like, it wasn't that.
Oh yeah.
It might make you, but it's probably not as freaky as what you think. But it's just a pre-thought of it all. Mark, tell us about an experience you had, and I can read it out on the show. Anita, I went to Coniston in the Lakes to the Donald Campbell Museum. Oh, I'll have to make a note of that. I was the only person in the room and was watching a video when the spirit of a man put a strong hand on my shoulder.
Wow,
that is awesome. Donald Campbell Museum. Let's make a note of that, because that's obviously we have a list of places. That was another question we want to put to you all as well. Is there any places you'd like us to investigate, or where would you like to see? Because obviously we're here to work with you guys as well. Anita, how did that make you feel? Like, what was your first impression? Was it like shock, or did that just really happen? Definitely let us know on that one. Sorry, I'm just writing this down. I do apologize. So, guys, we are coming to the end of this week's finale episode. Kathy just put, but you can give messages, and if you get one in open circles, you should give it off. I know this is my thing. I was literally talking about it today to my mum. My brother is like, I've done it. I know I can do it, but it's just a fear in it, and I think it's always. No's not the end of the world. You know how many people have been to spiritual church and you say no? It's not the end of the world. It might be wrong, or it might be you can't understand it at the time. It's not the end of the world, and I think it's that fear of if you balls it up, basically. And obviously that's my thing. Anita's put, I felt fine, just surprised. Wish I tried to talk to him. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. Sometimes it's like we've experienced is. If, for example, going back to obviously Ridgely again, because it's the most recent investigation, if we would have stayed there, could we have communicated with whatever it was, or could something else have happened what shouldn't have happened, but we left at the right time? You know what I mean? It's like what's the word? It's when you look back. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, what do you mean?
What's the word? Can't think of the word. Hindsight, that's it, is a wonderful thing. So, guys, we are coming to the end of this week's episode. Like I say, it's the season finale. We will be back in 2 weeks for series 2. We're a new start and, like I said, new intro. We got a lot of stuff going to go on behind the scenes in this next 2 weeks, and for Paranormal Living, and a lot of exciting things that we do have planned in the near future, which I really, really can't wait for. And you know, it's been a privilege this last 12 months for you all to join Paranormal Living, and of course all your likes, comments, you know, it really does mean a lot, and I'm just glad everyone's enjoying it. And of course, like I say, we started with Jay back a year ago, and you know, big shout out to Jay. And then obviously now the team's changed a bit, you know, with now Bob and Carl, and you know, it's been amazing. And they always say things happen for a reason, and you know, what an amazing 12 months it's been. You know, for the podcast, you know, the podcast is doing really well. As we were talking about yesterday, like we've got listeners in Australia now, which is unbelievable. And, you know, it's just amazing 12 months. And imagine what could the next 12 months be like, you know, really, really exciting.
It's been a great journey.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
How do you feel about that, Carl? Hasn't it? We've been on like a little roller coaster there. It's been brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, Carl, you watched the first ever episode, to you now physically being a part of the team. Like, what a roller coaster ride for you.
Exactly. I'm loving every minute of it. Onwards and upwards.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Definitely.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's so much to look forward to. And just, guys, thank you so much. So, like you say, we have a 2-week break. We will be back. And, yeah, so the third Sunday, which I will tell you the date now, because so we don't forget. I'll be putting these on as events so we don't forget. But the third Sunday of every month, we will be live for our special one-off lives, which is the 18th. So Sunday the 18th, we will be back for a paranormal investigation where we are going to Halton Castle near Runcorn, where we will be doing there. And so what an amazing place that is going to be. We have a couple.
The church has got a lot of activity anyway.
Yeah,
so
well, Bob,
what an eye opener.
I need to just mention there the Waterloo pub in Blackpool has spirits. I feel it every time I go in. Upstairs, particular. I've only been in the Waterloo once. I went to watch a band. I've never, but that would be quite a cool place to do an investigation. I'll tell you actually, just a quick story before we do log off. This always happens, doesn't it? We plan to finish and then we end up going over. But went to the circus. I told you to, didn't I? Went to the circus on Sunday, Tower Circus, and I haven't been there probably since I was a kid. I can't remember the last time I went, but not in recent memory. And just walking down the stairs into where obviously the circle is, and the energy I felt, dead arm went dead, and I was like, okay, there is something here. I'd literally just got a whoosh of whatever it was, but unbelievable energy in that place. That's definitely like a dream in it. Imagine Blackpool Tower being able to do investigation in the building there. That'd be amazing. Kathy has put, if they say no, you can always go back. Ask your guides expired. Yeah, can't read tonight. To give you something else that only the person would know. Makes you work harder. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yep. You're okay. Anita, thanks. I'll keep safe. Look forward to seeing you soon. Yeah, absolutely. Have a lovely break. Thank you very much, Susan. Number 7.
What, number 7? Number 7.
And enjoy your 2 weeks break. See you soon. So, Bob, it's exciting. Thank you very much for obviously coming on. Carl, buddy, thank you very much. Mate. We will see you all in 2 weeks when we will be back bigger, better than ever. So, guys, take care. If you're watching the England game, better. If you are watching the England game, enjoy the England game. If you have any plans for the rest of the week and the next 2 weeks, have fun. Stay safe, guys. Look after yourselves.
Be safe.
Very, very soon. Love and light. All the best.
Right.
Catch you in 2 weeks.
See you soon.